So I wanted to talk about Horizon Zero Dawn and kind of the direction that Sony has been taking it in regards to them doing the remaster. So I came across these three articles and I thought they were pretty interesting to kind of tell how the direction of this game has gone in regards to Sony's, handling of it and what that kind of means maybe for the future, who knows? But I thought this was pretty interesting. So the first article I had came across that was released on the 1st of November, so a couple weeks ago. It says Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster fans aren't happy about the PC version. So this article just goes into detail about the whole fact that, PlayStation, Sony was making it so that if you wanted to play this game on PC, you would have to sign into a PlayStation Network account. And I did a whole video in regards to that and I kind of gave my thoughts. I don't agree with it and I honestly don't like that they decided to do that with PC players. I feel like it's not fair to them, as well as the fact that cuz there are some people that were making statements that were just stating like, "Oh, it's something easy to do. It's real quick." And a lot of the newer games for PlayStation are doing it. But again, I don't agree with it, especially considering the fact that, like I said in the video, Sony has been hacked multiple times. So it's like, why would you want to give your information to a company that is notorious for being hacked and having their players' information get leaked out there? So I don't agree with the fact that they're going that route. And then the fact that they try hiding it behind some there's their reasoning behind it was that we want to make games safer. When you're talking about games like, God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn or The Last of Us, where it's a single player game. Yeah, there are some games out there like Helldivers 2 where it's like they want you to still create an account. That I feel like is a little bit more understandable in that regard. I personally don't think they should be doing that still, but with them, it is at the end of the day, it is their games and it is under their platform, so they can go that route if they want to. I just personally don't agree with it. And then one of the things that some of the PC players were also upset about that they were stating were some of the graphical errors. They were having some issues in regards to the graphics of the game, as well as some audio issues. And another thing that kind of upset PC players in regards to playing this on PC was the fact that there was no cloud saving and there wasn't a chance to be able to have it so that if you did play on a PlayStation and you wanted to switch over to PC, there was no way to actually get your trophies that you had already earned. So I think that was a little bit unfair. So I thought that was kind of messed up, the fact that they have it. So they're forcing you to open up a PlayStation account, but you're not going to get any benefits from doing so other than being able to just actually play the game. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So again, this was the one that was released on November 1st, this article. A second article that I had come across was released on the 8th of November, and it was talking about how, see here, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered looks like a worthy improvement of the original. And one of the things that this article kind of goes into detail about was the fact that yes, this is a game that is 7 years old. It came out in 2017. But one of the things that the article talks about that I even heard other players, individuals talk about as well, was the fact that this game's graphics are still able to hold up really fucking well. Because it is one of those things. I did play this game. I did beat Horizon Zero Dawn. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I really enjoyed the story and the direction that it went. And even then, I remember playing it on the PS4 and the graphics, they looked really good. And when you get it on PS5, they actually were able to do some upgrades available before they decided to do the whole remaster, where they had changed the frame rate, I believe, from 30 frames per second to 60. And it was able to give a beautiful look to the newer generation, the PS5. So this has left a lot of players kind of feeling like, there really wasn't necessarily a need for it because of the fact that even though, again, it is a 7-year-old game, it still looks beautiful to this day. There's games that are coming out nowadays that that don't have as good of graphics as this game did from when it first released, which is pretty much saying a lot in regards to, like, a lot of the current games in today's day, but also the fact that the game itself, that's how good it was, that's how like nicely they were able to do a job with it. So that was what they spoke about in regards to that. And then I came across this article here, which was released a few days ago. And I think this one is very telling because it does talk about, as you can see here, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered isn't doing very well on PS5. And it kind of goes back to what some of the players were mentioning in this article here, and what they had spoke about was the fact that it is still a very beautiful game. They were able to do such a good job with the graphics and entail it with the story where it looks very clean. So it just showed that a lot of the players, they really, especially PS5 players, they really felt that there wasn't necessarily a need to pay. I know it's only $10, but they even felt then that it wasn't necessary to pay that amount just to be able to get, some of the improvements that they had made from the original. And, again, it is only $10, but with today's economy and the way that things are going, these, people are going to be more stingy with their money in regards to spending it on something that they really feel doesn't necessarily need to be the case. So I thought it was pretty interesting. And then it also states here how out of the 13, PlayStation games, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered reportedly flops on PS5. So there's 13 games here, and you can see Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered is number 10. So 2024 PS5 console exclusives got all of these, and then relative peaks weekly players counts on PS5. It's got a 91.8, a negative 91.8% that they have of people that were wanting to play it. So this just kind of shows that players don't really feel like this was something that was necessary in regards to, graphics and all that type of thing. It is something that I'm sure if you were to see a side by side comparison, you would be able to notice little details here and there that are an improvement from the original. But at the same time, with how beautiful the game looks originally, there's going to be a lot of players that just don't really feel like it's necessary at that point. And it's understandable, at least from my opinion. I feel like that's something that we can agree with in that regard. But not only is this something that, I'm sure Sony and, the developers probably aren't too happy about it not doing as well as they were hoping for, it just kind of shows the direction that a lot of the gaming industry has been taking lately, where they're just, it feels like they're just trying their hardest to squeeze like every penny they can out of you for like little graphical details and everything like that. And the fact that, Sony is going in that direction with, the whole controversy with the PS5 Pro coming out, and then them they're having it so that the disk drive was separate as than the console, so you have to pay separately. And I feel like, this is a little small victory in that sense of like kind of showing them that you're not just going to pay for anything that they come out with because you say it's an improvement kind of a thing. And it really shows that, players are going to vote with their wallets, and they're going to show whether they want to, partake in this type of stuff or not. I'm hoping, even though I doubt it'll be the case, that Sony and kind of other video game developers will kind of learn from this and see that they can't just come out with anything and throw some money on it and expect players to purchase it and pay for it. So hopefully this will be something that where we can see kind of video games going in a better direction, where they are going to either, not touch something like this, like, do these remasters of games that aren't really necessarily that old yet, and try to, get some money out of it, and just kind of leave it be and kind of let it age gracefully, and then eventually decide, later on down the line, if there are improvements in the technology that we have in the present, whenever that is in the future, if it'll be one of those things that players want to go ahead and purchase and get excited about. Because when you have a game like this where it's already so beautiful, there's really no need to have to pay to kind of get the just tiny improvements at the end of the day. Again, even if it is just $10. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys think this is a step in the right direction for players kind of being able to voice their opinion on this type of stuff? Or do you think it is something where, someone like myself is kind of, just blowing in the wind here when I'm talking about this type of stuff? So if you guys can let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you've been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.